Most of you CATIA users out there have probably had an experience at one point or another where you've imported or exported points. Maybe you've used a macro, maybe you've had to do it by hand, I don't know. But if you've ever had a situation where you have a large number of points, it gets very difficult in CATIA quick. And by large number, I mean maybe anything over 15 to 20,000 points. It starts to bog down almost exponentially. So what do you do if you need to manipulate a large number of points? I mean, you've got the best CAD system, CATIA, but you can't really do much with it because it gets bogged down. Geometry Wizard is equipped to deal with this. So the way you can use Geometry Wizard is kind of like it can kind of talk to CATIA if you need to still use CATIA, but it can also deal with the points separately outside of CATIA. Let me show you what I mean. So for inputs, I have exported these points right here as a CSV file. They've been exported just as they are in that space. So if I re-import them, they're going to come in right there on top of these points. But I want the points to be on this curve right here. Okay, so the way we do this is we import into Geometry Wizard, not into CATIA. We're going to import a CSV that is name XYZ. I'm going to go get these curve points. There's only 160 in this example so that I can re-import them and show you that it worked. And now I'm going to do a transformation. If you look right now, all that you can access are external file formats. We can't use any of the CATIA functions because we haven't actually connected to CATIA. So if we come back up here and connect, now you can see we can utilize CATIA's axis systems. So if we know that these points are valued to this axis system, but we want them to now be valued to this axis system, we can revalue the coordinates. Sorry, we can use CATIA axis systems to revalue the coordinates in a new space. So we click the first axis system, which is the current space, and we click the target space. We want them to go here. Now let's output. If we don't want the points to ever exist in CATIA, this is where we can bypass it totally and just export directly to a new file. So let's do that now. I'm going to call it curve points translated and export. Okay, it's all done. Now to show you what just happened, we're going to re-import that other file. So I'm going to import. That's the file I just wrote. This time I'm going to just say none for the transformations because I want the absolute coordinates of these new points to exist on this curve. I don't want to have to apply a transformation. Okay, so now the output I'm just going to say into a new geoset and I'm going to import the points. Now if this was a huge array of points, like 60,000 points, you would not want to test this because it would start crashing up CATIA. I guess you could test it and then always cancel it out. The cancel does work while it's importing points here. But it might be just as good to go in and look up the first coordinate and type it in and see where it lands. Okay, here we go. Okay, so you can see that it took care of that internally without even needing CATIA, and it's super helpful when you have massive point clouds or large arrays of points. Thanks.